would this be a quarantine video if my hair was not like this?
Let's go, girls.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel. So I'm really uncomfortable, mainly because I can't see shit because I took off my glasses so they don't reflect, and because I'm sitting like a lady and my posture is like incredible right now because I'm working on it. So if I slouch, just let me know in the comments. I don't know how to like organize this video. I'm gonna be like word vomiting, so buckle up. Before we get into my journey, it's sponsored. I only drink if I go out or if I sometimes film a video. I'm not just like sipping drinks all the fucking time. I know it looks like that, but I'm not. I wanted to do a Q&A at first because, I don't know, it's quarantine. Like, what the fuck am I supposed to be filming? I'm not inspired. Who is? I'm not motivated. I hate it here. Everyone was like asking for psychedelic story times, just like shit like that. And let's talk about my journey because it ties in with that. So I'm gonna tell you about my first time trippin', but I never wanted to share this story because I don't want people to think I'm just like trippin', but it's not like that. Like, it's very spiritual and therapeutic. And you can already tell that I'm uncomfortable, obviously, because I said it like 5 times. My voice is changing and I'm gonna start making jokes. So get ready. I'm learning so much about myself, but I'm only making this video because I hope someone else watching it feels the vibes. That's not the point. The point is that I read a book, and by read a book, I mean I downloaded Audible and used my free trial to listen to a book by Chelsea Handler. It's called Life Will Be the Death of Me. This is now a book club. I always wanted to read it, except I can't read because I can't comprehend shit. So I decided to listen to it, and it's better because she's a comedian and she reads it, so yo comprendo. So yeah, what was I saying? Oh yeah, so I've been like super depressed during quarantine. Who isn't? I was like, why am I so depressed? And am I depressed? You know what I mean? So something that's always fascinated me is psychology. Like, I love figuring out why people are the way they are, and like, I want to know why I am the way I am. I'm not scared to like discover who I am, but I just want to fucking know. So basically I found out I'm a fucking nerd because I took 2 personality tests and I love to debate, which true. And the other one literally said I like data more than people, and then I really thought about it and I was like, also true. So when I saw how passionate Chelsea was about this book and how therapy like cured her, which is crazy because if you know her, she's super stubborn and never would go to therapy and always just shut them off. I was like, ugh, give me the book. And it really motivated me a lot and inspired me. And I didn't realize I relate to her so much. So I just want to share some of that before I go into my trippy time because it all correlates, I promise. I'm gonna word vomit, so you gotta keep up and drink along because it's gonna be therapeutic as fuck. I'm gonna try to get vulnerable, which I never do, and we will get into why. Here we go. I was like Googling, am I depressed? Like, can I be depressed? Duh. But what are the signs? Like, what causes depression? I'm a nerd, so I do a lot of research, which people fucking hate because they think I'm annoying because I'm just like, I need to look that up. But I just want to know everything. Like, I always want to know why. Some of the onsets for it are trauma, anxiety, blah, blah, blah. And I read that and I was like, I'm never anxious and I don't really have trauma. So like, how can I have depression? Obviously there's other reasons there could be depression, but then I was like really thinking about it and I was like, oh, I'm alone with my thoughts in quarantine, not doing shit. And I realized one of my major coping mechanisms is always being fucking distracted. And then I always make jokes about how I have no emotions. People always comment, they're like, oh, he has no emotions, he won't care. And I was feeling so shitty throughout quarantine that I finally just sat down and like wrote about my life, like a little memoir on my computer with some mood lights and some ambient beats. I started writing my whole life and it was so long. It was like 5 pages of just shit. And I was like, oh my God, I have so much fucking baggage. So the first thing that I read in this book that just spoke to me, and I was like, damn. Someone told Chelsea, she was like, deal with it. And she was like, oh, I've never dealt with shit. When people say deal with it, it sounds like just like one of those sayings. And when I really thought about it, I was like, I've never dealt with anything. And I was like, fuck, I've never done anything to cope. So basically I'm gonna sum up my life just so you can like get to know me more. So obviously I was like gay from a young age, you know? I'm gay. So I always wanted to hang out with girls. I always wanted to do what the girls were doing. Like, I never wanted to hang out with the guys. Just was never my cup of tea. So like at a young age, I was always being made fun of, being called a girl and just like all that shit turns into like being called gay and a it. That's middle school trauma. So I grew up my whole life just always being kind of like an outcast and like a black sheep. I didn't like sports. Everyone in my family played sports. I would always go to their games and like I just hated all that shit. Like I wanted to go and make Club Penguin videos and just do magic and all that shit. So I always felt like an outcast, and then being made fun of by like family friends and like all this shit, I'm like realizing like I've always felt that way, especially at a young age. So then I kept thinking, and then I'll go back to middle school and I'm like, oh, trauma. You were like made fun of for being gay, even though you weren't out. So you're just being made fun of for allegedly being gay. And those moments were so triggering for me. I would cry every day. Like I would go home and like ask to be homeschooled. And it was like the end of the world to me because I felt mortified to be called something so bad when at the time like that was bad to like the general population. And I didn't know who I was. So I was like, I'm not gay and I don't want to be called that, but I was so embarrassed. Literally no one knows I was like bullied because I kept it so secret. But then I started to change my mannerisms. So I would try to act more straight. So I made my voice more robotic. I tried to be monotone. I tried to be less expressive and not myself. And just, I wanted to like disappear. And I decided to have no friends. I thought no friends are better than being friends with girls and being called gay. And then one day I was just so embarrassed by being called gay and that I was always crying to my counselor that I just decided I'm not going to show any emotion anymore and pretend I don't care. And now I realize that's a coping mechanism that has stuck with me since. And I just realized that now. Like, what? So I really started thinking about my life when I realized, like, I'm not happy, I'm not sad, but what the fuck am I? I can't just be, like, coasting through life just like a robot. So that's when I really thought back on my life, and I'm like, shit. I was super emotional as a kid, like, I would cry all the time because my siblings would, like, gang up on me, and then middle school traumatized me to crying all the time in 7th grade, like, at home secretly and, like, hiding at lunch so I wouldn't be made fun of. And then I had really bad separation anxiety from my mom throughout elementary school. And on school trips, I'd have to bottle up all my feelings because of being isolated from my friends that were girls and being put with just random straight guys. Like in 5th grade, like I would cry in the bathroom secretly. So I was very emotional, and then one day it just stopped and I'm like, that's where the coping begins. I don't know, I just don't want to feel that way. I don't know why I can't be vulnerable, but I'm trying. I made a joke in one of Sarah's like videos. I think it was my video. It was like a mukbang. And I was like, bullying gave me character. Like, people deserve to be bullied. I didn't say that, but it was similar. And obviously I was joking because my sense of humor is my coping mechanism as well. Like I make light of everything and anything I feel becomes a joke. So like it's very hard to trigger me because it's funny. But through our book, I'm now realizing that's all about coping mechanism, being distracted, not having emotions. I'm like, I trained myself to not have emotions, which is why I haven't cried in like a year. Like I don't cry. Another off topic. Sorry, this video, you have to just follow along. Just keep up. I've experienced so much death from a young age. Like my aunt who died literally last year. Okay, what's a fun story? Give me a topic, a time, location.
Death!
Death.
No,
so
no,
I've
no,
experienced so
I'm
much
kidding,
death
I'm
in my
kidding, I'm
life.
kidding.
My aunt just died.
No, dude.
Her funeral's on
No.
September 20th.
Let's
Anyone
not.
wants to come on down, come on
Let's
down.
not.
And I never coped with that. Like I never cried over it. It was so random where it was like no one knew. So it was just super random. And then I finally wrote about it and acknowledged it. And then I cried. So I guess I did cry this year in quarantine when I wrote my memoir. But like, that's the point, is like, I don't acknowledge things because I'm so distracted. And like I had a childhood friend who died right after high school, and that hit me a year later. Because in those moments at like funerals and stuff, I take myself out of that. So fucked up. That's just like how I've like trained myself to like deal with my emotions. And now I'm realizing I need to actually deal with them because all I'm doing is pushing them under, which isn't helping. But I'm discovering now that this bitch needs therapy, which is great. And that's what I want whoever's watching this video. If you feel that way, therapy's good. And I always thought I was like chilling just because I'm not sad and I'm not happy. I'm just coasting, breezing while other people are really upset. But like everyone can be happy. We can all be happy. There's enough room on the train, you know? So, and then when I did go to therapy, I went to 2 different therapists and they both agreed with everything I said and basically just told me I was so smart. And I was like, thank you, you know, I handle everything really well. But like, I just don't handle it. I just pretend it never happened. That's my deal of handling. If we think back on more traumas, I was 2 bad things happened in WeHo to me, and then another time in WeHo, I was kidnapped and mugged on my birthday. It's one of my first videos on this channel. You can watch it, and you can see me use my humor to address the situation, which almost makes it sound fake, but it's a true story. And I just deleted those emails as if it never happened and forgot about it. But it's like, I never dealt with that. A normal person with all 3 of those scenarios would cry, would like probably go to therapy immediately. And it's just like, I don't even think about it to the point where I feel like I dealt with it, and like I'm just some macho man who can like handle anything. anything, but it's like, you're not dealing with it. So it's like bottled up. And I'm like, I need to unbottle that shit. Ugh, where's the corkscrew? I hope you haven't clicked off yet. It's just like a ramble of thoughts that who knows if any of it's making sense. I've been dealing with a lot of shit through quarantine and all of last year. That's just like a lot for me personally. But now I'm realizing like if you're so good at controlling your emotions, you can control yourself to be happy. And then like there was just like a lot of other death as a kid where I was too young to understand what death is. So like I understand now like why I'm like this, because it's like how if a kid is exposed to death so much at a young age, like it literally blows my mind that some people have never experienced that. I get why I don't know how to deal with it because I was a kid when I had to deal with it. But yeah, my therapist would always agree with me and I would just breeze over like middle school, all that stuff. And I was like, yeah, well, I don't think about it and it like doesn't affect me. Because if you ask me, I really believe it doesn't affect me, but I know it's bottled up somewhere. And I got so embarrassed when anyone would ask if like, are you okay? Like, how can we help you? Like my fucking counselor that I ghosted, I was like, I'm fine. And I still say that all the time. I'm like, I'm fine. And like deep down, I'm probably like miserable or dead. I don't know. Still really trying to realize, but like on the outskirts, like I'm fine. You know what I mean? But like that's the mask I'm wearing. So yeah. Like the other thing I realized in therapy was I've had so many life changes that like the average person does not experience. And I experienced them in my childhood, which is like your major changing points. First thing is I was really chunky as a kid. And after I met Harry Styles, I, for whatever reason, decided to get super skinny. I would run and eat almonds. That was all I ate. Like I was like underweight. And then before my jaw surgery, my doctor told me to stop eating salt to see if that would lower my blood pressure, which obviously it would, but then I like lost more weight. And then I was addicted to being skinny, which isn't great either, you know? And then everyone's congratulating you on being skinny and then you start feeling good about it. So then you developed eating problems, which literally do not have a normal eating schedule. The body dysmorphia in this body is real. Then I get my face done for medical purposes. And even though I wanted that, I experienced depression right before that surgery, like major. All my friends were at school. I was home alone, braces, everything. Dropped me as a friend because I became too much to handle. Because after I came out as gay, I overcompensated, as most gay people do. I like try to fit like a stereotype of like what a gay person is, which is like honestly nothing like what I am. Like I'm like the world's worst gay. You know, a gay person who just came out, like they say some shit. And I just became so fake materialistic. Like I wanted to be like basically Kylie Jenner. And I was obnoxious. If I knew myself at that age, I'd be like, I fucking hate you. After my surgery, everyone's like, oh my God, you look so good. I mean, thank you. But it's weird because it's like, what the fuck did I look like before? Back to like the skinny fat. It's like the body dysmorphia in me. It's like, will I ever be happy with how I look? It's kind of sad. But then I also have the fucking ego of an asshole. Like I was such a fucking dick because I'm getting fucking complimented all the time. Like, you look so good. I'm like, oh, I know. But then I had it shot back down because people were like, stop being a fucking asshole. You don't look that good. And I'm like, oh, fuck. I don't know. Well, now I know. I'm like, ew. God, you have a fucking middle part. Oh, God. A mop, if you will. But if anyone cuts hair, like, let me know. People are gonna think I'm like on drugs, which I wish. And then you have the whole sexuality mixed into it. So like being gay. God, what a fucking journey. I'm still trying to like maneuver that one. You grow up with everyone being straight and you miss out on so much where you're just like, who the fuck am I? And like, what am I supposed to be doing? You know? So what the fuck? I thought I was like really handling all my shit because I was like doing good. Doing well in school. I did everything I was supposed to. I had friends. I was happy. And I don't know, now I'm just like, what the fuck? I was just breezing through that all somehow because the 13-year-old brain in me decided to fucking build a wall, like just a giant barrier that is able to like somehow mask everything and like this like giant facade that like I'm invincible. And people are fucking scared of me and I get it. I would be scared of myself. I have resting bitch face, even though if you get to know me, I'm obviously just fucking nice, but this is like what I built in 13 years old. It's just like I look like I'm bored all the time. I don't smile. I can't fix it. Fuck. Oh yeah, and then I also belittle everything. Like anything I accomplish, I belittle, which I think is also like a coping mechanism. It's like I want to beat you to the punch. Where it's like, your video is so good. I'm like, ugh, I hate it. College graduation. Didn't go. I should be proud, but I'm just like, I don't really care. It's like, that's a big deal. Look inward, bitch. It's gonna get to the trippy part, I promise. But what was I gonna say? I don't remember. See, I'm always fucking distracted. Surprisingly, I'm not a narcissist or a sociopath. I asked both therapists and they said no. And I said, fuck. Like, I really wanted to just be classified as something so I could just put myself in like another fucking box just so I could understand myself. But I'm not, because I asked. And I guess neither of those parties would ask if they are because they can't look inward. And I look so inward all the time, so guess it's not me. One thing in Chelsea's book, which please read, it's so good. Not Spawn. I wish. Love her. The biggest thing she realized was she has no empathy. And then I really thought about it and I was like, I don't have empathy. Fuck. Like, that's my issue, is I'm not like very empathetic. This whole last year, like, I'm exhausted because of what I've been handling, which, if you knew, is a lot of empathy in my book. I still lack empathy, which is fine because some people aren't. A lot of therapists aren't empathetic because if you think about it, if they're empathetic, they would have to feel every patient's emotions, and that's a lot on someone. They're more sympathetic, which I am. Like, I can recognize when something's sad and be like, oh, sorry. Even that I can't like really express the emotions because I don't know how to like express emotions. And that's why I was like, am I a sociopath? But I'm not. So empathy is something I can work on. So now that I have something tangible, it's actually been helping. Just being empathetic. It sounds so stupid, but like, you always hear, put yourself in their shoes. And it just sounds like one of those tacky sayings that, I don't know, it just goes over my head and I don't actually literally think about it. But then I really started thinking about it and I'm like, damn. But that's also why I belittle myself so much, because I know that other people are struggling with bigger issues or doing more. I don't know, it's a fucking double whammy. Who fucking knows? I was at Joe's and we both got tested and I'm quarantining with him now because of my shit. I'm like, toodles. We were watching TV and I said, I just want to watch this show because it's like what I want to watch. And it just sounds easy and like fun. And then I thought about it and I was like, why am I commanding what we're watching? Like, imagine being him where they just say what they want to do. And I was like, ew, is that who I am? Because that. And I go, what do you want to watch? And in that moment, I felt so good. I was like, holy shit, look inward. Don't be an asshole. Is that who you are, where you're just like, say what you want to do? And then he ordered a Postmates and I go, do you want me to come with you? Because I hate walking down an apartment building to get a Postmates. And he was like, yeah, I'll come with you when you get yours. And I was like, fuck. Like, this is empathy, and it felt really good. People always say, do what you want others to do. But it's like, I will walk down to get my Postmates if no one's gonna come with me. Like, it's not the end of the world. Like, I'll be fine. But I'd prefer someone came. If I want that, then I should fucking do it. And that's fucking empathy. And it blows my mind. But I also have to forgive myself for lacking empathy because it's like, I've never let anyone pity me. After like middle school, all that shit, I'm always like, I'm fine. Everything's fine. But it's like, I never dealt with it. So now it's like, how am I supposed to empathize if I never let anyone do that to me? So it all makes sense. I'm now realizing anyone that wants to just stalk me will know like everything deep inside me. It sounded really fucking gross, but I hate that. So now I'm gonna tell you guys my experience tripping. I don't want to say the word just in case it's like gets me in trouble somehow. So it's a rhyme. It rhymes with brooms. It grows, it's in nature, and it's trippy. So in 2018, I was going to Coachella, and there was this guy I met. We're friends now, per usual. What Tinder man have I ever met that has not just become my friend? This is why I don't meet new people. It's like I can't just have a friend group of a bunch of fucking Tinder dates. Yeah, so I was going to meet up with this guy, and the first day was like chillin', and I remember I had a photo. I had a highlight similar to like what I have now, and in the photo to me, it looks like a bald spot. So I was like kind of upset. I was like showing people, I was like, does this look like a bald spot? Just like super insecure. And there was just some other shit, but overall, great night. So then next day, it's Saturday, and this is the day I decided to do some brooms. I've never done them before. I felt like, let's get crazy. I don't condone this, by the way. I'm just fucking absurd, as you can see. Like, look at me. I have a fucking mop on my head. But so I decided to like leave the people I was staying with super early and go meet up with my friend. And he was doing something. I was like, I'm gonna do some brooms. I'll be with him. I'll be fine. So I'm on my way alone in their fucking buses. He's not replying back to my texts. And I'm like, the fuck? Like, I'm showing up to Coachella alone, which if you know me, I hate doing anything alone. It like freaks me out. I hate being alone because then I'm like stuck with my thoughts, which here we are talking about my thoughts when I'm alone. Oh my god, I'm like really reflecting. So anyways, I'm like going there, he's like not replying, I'm now like getting in my head. I'm like, it's fine, like I'm sure he's fine, I'll find him. It's 2 p.m. Let's just go in this porta potty and take my brooms. So I do it, I walk out, they taste gross. It tastes like Kellogg's. It tasted like a stale Kellogg. Like a stale Special K, if you will. Like a fucking terrible
bowl of cereal.
If that's not enough to stop you, you're welcome. I'm like I'm texting his friends. I'm like, where are you? Like, what's going on? No reply. Bad vibes. The brooms start to kick in. They're sweeping. And I'm like, fuck. Like, I'm alone at Coachella. I have no idea where my friends are. So I get sent into what is known as an ego death, which is basically when you detach from your body. And it was the most horrifying experience because I was basically watching myself from a third party. Like, I was just observing myself, like just really seeing like who I am for what I am. And I was like disgusted with it. Like, it was horrible because I went into the whole experience just being like, am I being ghosted? Like, what's wrong with me? So I was like, like over analyzing myself, which then made me go into that spiral. So who's the first person I call? Sarah, because who is the most like vibey and spiritual person you can think of? Sarah. And I was like, I think I'm being ghosted. I'm like wandering Coachella alone. Things are starting to move. I'm kind of uncomfortable. The grass is breathing. The trees, there's no trees. I'm confused. She's like, you're fine. Like, what are you seeing? And I look over and I see like all these bitches taking Instagram photos. And I'm like, I see bitches taking Instagram photos and it's disgusting. Do people literally come to Coachella just for photos? People care so much about social media that they're coming to a festival instead of listening to music, they're taking fucking Instagram photos. And she was like, what the fuck is going on in your brain? Because it was so unlike me, because I was so fake superficial. Like, I was trying to fit this gay mold and like what I thought it was to be gay and like cool and just super vain shit, which if you know me now, is like nothing like me. I don't fucking care. And I was looking at my spray tan and I was like so disgusted by it. I was like, this color is not natural. This orange is disgusting. Like, why the am I spraying a chemical on my body? This is not who I am. And I started like wanting to rub it off. I just felt so gross and unnatural, which you guys get your fucking spray tans. It's not that deep. But in that moment, I was just like, what the fuck am I wearing? Like, why is there a spray tan on me? Like, why are we all trying so hard? It's also why I look like this now, because it's just like, I don't really fucking care. Like, it's not that deep, which is peaceful, but also like, I will be getting a spray tan because it hides shit. It's so hard for me to take an Insta pic now because I'm just like, what is the point of this? It's so fucking dumb. Do I really want a photo of me when I'm 50 holding a drink and posing like I'm a model? Like, I'm not gonna fucking look at that ever again. Like, so then I'm like, I never even want to take that stupid pic. Like, I have no memories with my friends now, like in high school, because everyone's like, oh, I'm an Insta baddie. Like, I'm gonna take a photo alone. And that's just how I feel about Instagram now. It's just like so stupid to me. So then I went up to this little girl who was with her friends, and I probably looked so fucking scary. I was like, hi, can you take a photo of me on your phone and then airdrop them to my phone so I can send them to my friend so she can like see what I look like right now? Because I just wanted Sarah to like know the situation. Like, me alone at Coachella on the phone with her. Like, what's that look like? So this bitch takes a photo of me and I send them to her and they're like the funniest photos. And I'm just like going through a bitch. I'm just like giggly. This is before it got really dark. So I send them to Sarah. She's like LOLing. I'm like laughing out loud. And I'm like looking at myself from my other POV. And I'm like, I am so fucking vain. I'm so superficial. Why am I wearing these YSL sunglasses that I don't even want to be wearing? Like, I hate wearing sunglasses. Like, they're not comfortable because they're fucking heavy. And the YSL ones I have are so fucking heavy. Ugh, I got them because Kim Kardashian wears them. Who fucking cares? Materialism's so fucking dumb. If I don't enjoy wearing it, why the fuck am I wearing it? And there's just so many people like that now where I look at it and I just see right through it. I was like, Sarah, I understand you now. And like, that's when Sarah and I got really fucking close. When she met me, I was just like not there yet. And now look at me. I just like wear a black hoodie every day. I'm like, no fucks given anymore. I don't care. My hair's a mop. Who fucking cares? Who cares? Like, literally, who cares? And that's what really came out of this experience for me. But back into it, I was like, I need to go because my phone is like going into my hand and it's grossing me out. And then I was thinking about technology and I was like, what the fuck is going on? So when I finally met up with my friends hours later, like I was alone, having a horrible experience, I give all my belongings away. I give my YSL sunglasses away. I'm like, take my phone, please. I don't want it. And then I just like took in the moment and just danced. And I was like, we are just like here as humans. And like, what have we become? Like, what is all this dumb shit that I need? I don't need YSL sunglasses just because people are like, oh, those are so dope. Kim K has them. Like, who cares? This is like so silly, but one of my favorite experiences, I went to a Porta Potty alone and I just stood in there. I had no phone, nothing. It was just my body just to like really embrace my pee in just that moment. And it felt like what it feels like to drive for the first time. Like when you're 16 and you don't have a parent in your car and you're just driving, like that feeling of just being alone was like so freeing. And I felt so free in my fucking porta potty. I was like alone in this little porta potty with just myself. No phone, there's nothing attached to me, no like accessories. Like I was just in the porta potty, just like, this is what we were meant to be like. Like humans are just animals. Like I don't need technology and materialism. Like it's just me at the end of the day, alone with my thoughts. And it just felt so good. I met up with my friends and they were all just like, who are you? You gave away your shit? Who the fuck is this? And then I left Beyonce early because I was just like so tired from my journey. I'm such a different person on my journey. I hate saying the word journey, but God, it was a fucking journey. I was triggered by that whole experience. I was like, horrible experience, never doing it again. Like, obviously it's scary. You're seeing who you are for what you are. Like, there's no facade, there's no sunglasses, and that was like the most scary experience. And I understand how that scares so many people because a lot of people work so hard to create this facade that they show to the world. For a lot of people, they can't handle seeing who they truly are. And you have no choice. Like, if it goes bad, you're gonna see everything you deny and like pretend you're not, but deep down you are. So yeah, I was triggered. So the next day I was just like, fuck it. And I did it again. Don't even know. This was like the most incredible part because it was such a transformation. I went from being scared to being alone to purposely running off alone.
I can't hear you, Coachella.
Just dancing alone because I finally like just understand how to like be alone. Like I met 3 random ass bitches. Excuse me. Just, they told me I was pretty and I was like, thank you. And we took a photo together and got wine together. One of the girls was kind of rude and I thought she was Cara Delevingne, but whatever. And then I ran off into a crowd to Odessa and then some guy named Ryan gave me his goggles and we were just vibing together. It's like good vibes. And like straight men make me really uncomfortable. I made like literally all these friends tonight. So it was just weird that I was like fully comfortable with him. When I think back, it's just like that's so unlike me still, but it was really nice that I felt comfortable enough to like go off alone and not have like a sidekick or a friend and just meet strangers and just have a good time and like hang out with straight men and be like, I'm not just a gay man. They're not gonna call me a it's fine. I'm not condoning it, but it did change me forever. I don't know, I'm just feeling more confident. I'm comfortable being alone. I'm just confident in being myself. People like me for who I am. And it sounds super lame. I met a lot of cool people tonight that I'm not friends with, and it's all because I'm alone. So it gives me hope that I'm more than who I thought to be. I probably left out so much shit and I rambled so much. I'm so sorry. I just hate being vulnerable. But yeah, I hope this like helped someone. I hope it was even interesting because I know everyone's going through it through quarantine. I just want you to know you're not alone, but it's also not scary to really dive deep into your psyche and like figure your shit out. I want to know what's wrong with me and how I can fix it. And the first thing I can do is empathy, and I'm working on it and I'm really happy about it. So it's a journey. I think it's like a journey vlog. I'm not that shook as it sounds in this video. You could say it's a coping mechanism, but I'm genuinely just saying that. I'm just uncomfortable speaking to myself. I'm sweating, and it's really hot. It's like physically and emotionally hot. Leave your comments, your thoughts, your opinions, a like. Hopefully I'll be able to get back into my fucking shit. Even though there's a lot of shit that went wrong in my childhood, I'm still grateful for my childhood. That's all I have to say. LYLAS.